and welcome to another video from our Learning Lightroom series. In this video I'd like to take a look at the information you can display on the thumbnails in Grid View or on the image itself in Loupe View and how to customize it. Now here we can see the simplest view, which is just like a grey background with no additional information displayed. Now if you prefer a little more information, you can press the J key. And this will take you to a second stage where you get a little bit more information. Now on here you can see we've got a little number appear in this top corner. We've got this little decal here which is for updates, telling me that the metadata needs to be updated. Down at the bottom here we've got the rotation arrows, we've got the star rating, and we've got the colour label. And actually inside the image we've got the badge. And the badges are put there to tell me if anything's been added to the image, and this is telling me that this photo has develop adjustments added to it. So can we customize this information? Well, yes we can. And to do this we can go up to the View menu and down to View Options, or we can use the keyboard shortcut Control and J, or Command and J if you're on a Mac. And that'll bring up the Library View Options dialog. Here we can see we've got one tab for the grid view and one tab for the Loupe view. So let's start with the grid view. Here we can decide whether we're working with compact cells, which are these here, or whether we want to use expanded cells. And this is where we've got some additional areas, top and bottom, where we can put additional information. Let's stay for the moment with compact cells. Here in the options, the first one is show clickable items on mouse over. And what this means is if I put a tick in there, then these items at the bottom, they only appear when I actually mouse over the image. So here we can see that the star ratings and the rotation arrows and the colour label, they only appear when I mouse over. I don't tend to have that done, so I tend to leave that off, but that's up to you. Tint grid cells with label colours, and this is the amount of tint. So if I decide I want to put a colour on a particular cell, let's say red, then this is the tint that appears around the outside. And if I want to, I can change that to make it more red or less red. I'll leave that set to its default value. And then show image info and tooltips. Well, yes, I like that. I like when I hover over something for it to bring me a little tooltip to tell me. So if I forget something, I can easily, it helps me remember. Okay, cell icons. What do we want to appear? Do we want the flags? Well, the flags are obviously up in this top corner here. If I take that off, then the flags disappear. Do I want my unsaved metadata symbol here? Well, yes I do, that's very useful, but again I can turn that off. Do I want my thumbnail badges? Yep, I like my thumbnail badges. And my quick collection marker. Now this is this little circle here that appears if I'm actually going, I can just click on that to add it to a quick collection. If you untick this, then it won't appear. But I tend to use collections a lot, so I like to have that set. My compact cell extras, well, yep, I like having my index number, which is this number up here. In my top label, I do like to have something, and here I can define it as file name. But I can also define it as anything from this huge list here. But I'll leave it set to file name because I do find that useful. And then the bottom label, again, you can define whatever metadata you want to put in there. And for this one, I've just liked the ratings and the labels. On my expanded cell extras, this is where we can actually put some additional information in. So I'll just go to my expanded cells. And we can see here we can switch it off if we like. We can switch the header completely off and or the footer completely off. But within that, again, we can define whatever information we want. And I do like having an index number. I do like having a file name, but I can define anything from this list. And for me, I like having my crop dimensions in, which is this, so it tells me that's 1200 by 800 pixels. And then the folder, I've got JPEG, that's the folder it's actually sitting in at the moment. And then do I want the rating footer included? Do I want my colour label, which I tend to like having that on? And do I want my rotation arrows? Well, yes, I think they're useful as well. So that just about sums it up for the grid view. Let's have a look now at the loupe view. In loupe view, we can define two sets of overlay information. And this is controlled by the I key. So if I press my I key, you see I can cycle from one set of information to a second set of information to no information at all. And this is controlled in here from show overlay. So if I put a tick in there, you can see at the moment I'm showing info 2. If I go back one, I can show info 1. And again, this is loupe info 1, and I can define 3 sets of information. I like the file name, I've put the megapixel, the file size, and then the crop dimensions. You can change them to suit yourself. And then in loupe info 2, I've got the f-stop, the ISO speed rating, and the exposure time. So I'll just show you that. That comes as info 2. So that's how to customize the information in loupe view. Okay, so let's just have a little recap. So we'll tap the G key to go back to grid view. I'll type the J key to take me back to basically a very basic view. If I tap the J key again, it takes me to show some information, which is my compact information. If I press the J key again, it takes me to my expanded view where I can see lots more information. If I want to customize any of the information, there's a keyboard shortcut of Ctrl and J, which will open up my library view options where I can customize all that information. If I now press the E key to go to loupe view, I've got 2 sets of information up here which I can define, and I can swap between them by pressing the I key. So I key gives no information, I key gives info 1, and I key gives info 2. All that is definable from within the view info dialog, which again you can get to by the keyboard shortcut Ctrl and J. So that's a brief walkthrough of the information we can display in Grid and Loupe View and how to customize it to your particular taste. I hope that was useful. If it was, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you won't miss future episodes. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.